Welcome to the channel, YouTube world. Do not feel bad if you don't have a current gen console. That's right. If you don't have an Xbox Series X or S or LMNOP, whatever letter they want to use, or you don't have a PS5, it's okay. It's been brought to my attention by some people of note that I know on social media they've been having issues with their console. Anything from major coil whining to running out of storage. That's my biggest one right there. I mean, I'm not an Xbox fanboy. I'm more of a PlayStation fanboy, but for personal reasons, because I've had a lot of hardships with Xbox, unfortunately. I always say that the best console is the one that you appreciate the most. So if you really enjoy Xbox, you've had a wonderful experience with Xbox, then Xbox is the best console for you. But this isn't what this video is about. I'm not normally one to praise Xbox too much because, like I said, I've had a lot of issues with them. But right off the hop, if you run out of room on your terabyte hard drive, which I think clocks in at about, is it 800 gigs on a Series X? I'm not sure, because when I had an Xbox One, 1 terabyte, or sorry, 500 gigabyte, originally it was only a 360. So I used to call the Xbox One an Xbox 360. Get it? Because I only got 360 gigabytes of available data that I could use. On the PS5, you're supposed to get like in the 800s or something like that, but Rich from Review Tech USA says that it's around 665 or something like that, almost the mark of the beast, 666. And to me in 2020, that's just unacceptable, especially considering the fact that you cannot put these games on an external hard drive because you need to run your PS5 games off of the SSD. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's fine. But can we at least store the damn game like you can on an Xbox Series X and S on an external, and then when you're ready to play that game, you can swap it over rather than having to re-download it again. And to me, that is absolute madness. Now, Sony has locked the NVMe PCIe 4.0, too much math there, I'm not Einstein. They locked the ability to use them because they want to make sure that they have the proper drivers, I think is what it is, because there's certain specs that it has to meet. Because you're able to use whatever you want, whereas with Xbox, they went proprietary. But there's going to be third-party retailers that make these cards for the expansion, which I think is okay. I mean, it'll probably bring up the price a little bit, but at least you'll know that it'll 100% work for your Xbox. Whereas on PlayStation, you can use anything, but it's going to have to meet a certain read and write speed. So a lot of these SSDs that you can get, like those little sticks of, they look like a stick of RAM, you're not actually going to be able to use those. I think they're called NVMe. They need to be like the newest generation. They have to have like a really high read and write speed. So day one, we've got quite a few people reporting issues with the PS5, then running out of room. And this is with like launch games. This isn't even like people storing their PS4 games on the PS5. This is strictly like PS5 games. And this is not including NBA 2K21, which is rumored to be the biggest game to date. That's why I'm not feeling so bad anymore. Yes, I'm itching and I'm like, going crazy because I really want a PS5, like so freaking bad. It's driving me nuts because I want to be able to play, Spider-Man and the Call of Duty with a slightly higher graphic fidelity with like next to no loading times, which is why I still play some PS4 games that I enjoy on my PC because my PC has an SSD. I've, put the likes of like Red Dead Redemption 2 on there, Grand Theft Auto 5, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and some others, just to name a few. And having no load times is an absolute, absolute blessing. It really makes gaming that much more fun. And I don't even care about the 30 to 60 frame thing. I'm more hung up on the loading times. That to me is like probably one of the biggest things. I would rather get into a game really quick at 30 frames than have to wait 2 to 3 minutes to get into a game at 60 frames. Then again, rarely does the console do 60 frames. I mean, in general. With the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X, that's going to be more of a common thing. So that's basically my little rant. It probably made no sense. And in closing, I wanted to say that today I could have purchased an Xbox Series X. There's hope out there. Black Friday is upon us. There's going to be stock. Sony said, and Xbox Phil Spencer, I think. Things are a little bit wonky because of the whole COVID thing, but at least I know from Sony's point that they said there is going to be more consoles than there was when the PS4 launched, despite the fact that we're in a worldwide pandemic. So there is absolutely hope. You're going to watch all these scalpers on your Kijijis and your Craigslists or whatever classified ads that you're using, Facebook, whatever, $1,200, $1,300 Canadian. You're going to see that price starting to drop pretty soon. I've already seen some people say from week to week they have like PS5 1300, but they mark it all the way down to like if you buy it on like December 31st, they're gonna charge you like $600 or $700, which is like barely $100 markup from the MSRP. Is it MSRP? RP? RPM? No, that's for cars and shit. Anyhow, don't feel bad. It's not all doom and gloom. I don't want to paint this video as like, oh, it's really bad, but come on. Every console launch has had its issues. I mean, almost every single one. Except for the PS3. I just didn't have any issues with my PS3. The Xbox 360, I had 2 red rings of death. Let's get into why, no offense, I'm not the biggest Xbox fan. But I don't make fun of people who like Xbox. That's the difference between me and some other people. I had 2 Xbox 360s that went red ring of death on me. Then I had 2 Xbox Ones. One failed, and then the other one, it just constantly kept disconnecting my profile. I had, tried out different controllers and it wasn't working. I switched my console, then the problem went away for a bit. And then after that, I started having some fake battery drain issues on my controller for my Xbox One. I went through about 3 or 4 batteries. This is all in like the span of like 4 or 5 years. Almost every like year or something, just something was going on. Constant battery drains. Then I started getting logged out of my profile and disconnected from Xbox Live as well. But I'm talking about the actual profile on your controller. When it says, bye-bye, you've signed out. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And then I'm getting my ass beat in some of the video games that I'm playing. So that was really, really discouraging. I did end up getting a Gears of War Special Edition Xbox One X, and I'm not going to lie. That one was amazing. It impressed me more than my PS4 Pro Death Stranding edition that I have, because I'm going to be honest with you, apart from the hiccups I had with Xbox, when the shit works, like when I finally got a good console, and I had it for a good 3 or 4 months until I sold it due to financial reasons. It was probably one of the best consoles I ever had. I mean, the Xbox, let's talk about the bright things about it. The USB external hard drive support is way better. If my power was flickering a little bit, I didn't find it was as finicky, whereas my PlayStation, ooh, heaven forbid, if I put it in like sleep mode, I turn the PlayStation 4 back on, or sometimes I restart my PS4 for whatever reason that I choose to do that. I sometimes get hiccups with, ooh, you didn't shut down properly, and as a result, your external hard drive has to scan again. It's like, are you freaking kidding me right now? And also with the PS5, especially if you put it in standby mode and you unplug your external hard drive and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to plug it into another port just because you feel like doing that. Yeah, you're going to hard crash your PS5 and you're going to have to reinitialize the database. It's absolutely insane. I've tested that kind of stuff with the Xbox and it didn't do that. Xbox also provides free cloud save for your backups, whereas with PlayStation, uh, you got to be a PS Plus member for that. So don't get me wrong, there are a lot of strong points with Xbox, and there's a lot of strong points with Sony. There's literally like they each bring something different, pros and cons, and I had made my list, and with me, it was like, it didn't happen just once or twice or 3 times or 4 times, with my mishaps with the Xbox. So it's hard for me not to shit on my experience, but I won't shit on the company as a whole. I won't shit on people that enjoy their products. You enjoy what works for you. Why is that so hard to understand? You make any type of comment, oh, I really didn't like the Xbox. I had all these issues with it. And you share like some legit points about why you don't like something. You're not just doing it to jump on the hate bandwagon, and people still shit on you. But you know what? I don't care. It's everybody's got a different journey, and as the expression goes, your mileage may vary. And that's what happened with me. It's just some very, very terrible luck up until I got my Xbox One X. And I was only using it to play like Skate 3 and a couple of other games that were backwards compatible. So for me, after a few months, I was like, I'm having a hard time justifying holding such a nice console just for that. But the weight of it, the build of it, when you touched it, simple design, right? Like just a simple rectangle, none of this angled crap that feels like it's like when I touch my PS4 Pro and I hold it, like it squeaks and like it just doesn't feel like a premium product. I'm not going to lie. Whereas the Xbox does feel like a premium product. I also had an Xbox One S, which gave me some problems, but that was more, again, with the whole controller and all that. But as a whole, the console was really nice. I also found that Xbox um, were much quieter, much, much, much quieter. I mean, the PS4 Pro that I have, like I said, it's the Death Stranding edition, so it's one of the latest revisions of the PS4 Pro, which combated that, the whole jet engine thing. I can still hear the fan. It's not as bad, but that's also because it's allowing the console to run hotter than prior PS4s. Whereas the Xbox, very, very quiet. Sometimes I didn't even know if the damn thing was even on. So again, it's not all doom and gloom with Xbox. It's just if my shit could stay connected and I didn't get fake battery readings telling me that it was dead when I had gone through like a bunch of brand new batteries. I think I went through like a good few brand new actual Microsoft branded batteries. And then when I got my Xbox One X, I actually went to EB Games, which is a Canadian store. I think it's the corporate twin or whatever of like GameStop or whatever. I bought some store branded knockoff batteries. Oh man, they were amazing. Like, I don't know where. There we go. See? Beautiful Phantom Magenta. I spent almost $100 Canadian on this, and I got the knockoff battery pack for it in the back. So it actually has two plugs. The top one, it's got a, there we go. The top one is the real port. The bottom one still lights up. You plug it directly into the battery. Biogenics, I think, is the name of the company. Amazing. The battery life on this and my Switch Pro controller is just out of this world. Now, for holding it in my hand, no offense, I am more of a PlayStation controller kind of guy. But let's be real. The battery life on these are absolute effing poo. Like they really, really are. I'm kind of going all over the place, and this is actually why I don't normally do these videos, because it's like the tale of a madman. It's just a rambling rant. That's all it is. But the whole point was don't fret about the whole current gen. That's right. Your PS4 and your Xbox Ones, those are last gen now. But quit calling the Xbox Series X and PS5 next gen. They're not the next gen. They're current gen. They're just not currently available for 99% of the people on this planet. Our time will come. We will find something in stock for us. We just have to be patient. If you can find it on us for, from a scalper for an extra $50 or $100, you could justify the price. I'm not going to lie, even I was kind of tempted. But be cautious as well, because with the receipt that you get from a store, I can only confirm right now that Best Buy and Walmart in Canada will honor the receipt if you're not the original purchaser of the console. Places like EB Games and all that, the source, they will not talk to you. They're like, listen, this is not the receipt from the person that bought it, you're somebody else you bought it from, rather, we can't help you out. You'll probably still be able to get your 1 year's manufacturer's warranty, but I mean, come on. You're spending in the upwards of $1,000 on a console that got scalped from someone. You want to be able to bring it back to the store, especially with everything that I've been saying that there has been, decent amount of issues with some of these consoles. You want to be able to, bring it back. If you got a console from, let's say, Best Buy, they've got that extended holiday warranty or exchange return till like January the 20th. That's like 2 months that you can like buy stuff and then like return it. Imagine having that receipt. You've got an entire 2 months to play with your console. Now, yes, the joke is good luck going to Best Buy and getting a console, but I could have had an Xbox Series X today, like I said, but with all the games I've bought on PS4, they're not cross purchase across different platforms. It's got to be PS4 to PS5, right? So, anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I don't even know how long I've been rambling on for. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video because I kind of went like all over the place. But yeah, if you liked it, thumbs up. It greatly helps support the channel with the algorithm and all that. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down, and I'll just, put you in a wrist lock and snap it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, boys and girls, or whatever it is you identify as, and hopefully I'll see at least some of you in the next video. Bye now.